Welcome back, folks, to World of Warships Legends. I'm Soopa-Dave, and today we're looking at the new Dutch legendary cruiser Gouden Leeuw, I believe is how it's pronounced. You're not here for my obviously terrible pronunciations, but keep in mind, guys, if you don't have or you if you don't want to go after it now after the bundle, which is super expensive, I had to do it because I'm not a CC. Um, you, this will be coming out in the future in the bureau next year, so just keep that in mind so maybe you don't jump at it because gonna sound like I'm gonna sell this ship, guys, and I'm not trying to. I just freaking love this thing. All right, it fits my playstyle so well. I don't know if it's overpowered or not because I think people are gonna maybe not be as aggressive in this ship, but anyway, we're gonna talk about that here in a second. One thing to note, guys, I don't have the commander obviously yet. I have to wait like all you guys for the Johan Firstner, and this thing probably would suit it really well. And there's a lot of ways. When I was looking at it, I was like, oh, there's a lot of ways you could build into this thing. You could do XXL, Igniter, fixated, but there's other good things as well. You could, drop into a wrist theory. It's probably the way I would go. But man, this thing is good. I love this ship, and even on the Doorman Commander that we have it as. So one thing I will say, this does not play exactly like D7, and I'm going to showcase why here in a little bit. So we took off the concealments. I did run concealment my first two matches to get in close. Honestly, I didn't need it. I didn't realize how tanky and good this ship was in the first few matches I played in it. Um, but I also didn't have any spotting either. I'll probably maybe show a few clips of that. But anyway, here we are using Membelli and Kuzganov before because of that. Remember, stop at any cost is a good little perk to have on this ship. Burn it down XXL. Look at me now, sponge. Whatever that's called, where you get the subsequent hits on one ship, which can be handy, and air support. Now, there is an argument to make fully packed. Why is that? Because it has some good consumables, right? We'll get there in a second. Aiming systems mod 1, props mod 2, concealment is always in the third slot. And in the last slot, we just took a main battery mod 3. And for the match you guys see, I think I had it on, so I'm going to have it on for that. I didn't have it on for most of my matches. I think I put it on for like one match and then got it. All right. For your sonar, you have 5 kilometer sonar, you get two of them. And this thing is actually really handy, especially for my playstyle. My playstyle fits this ship so well. It's a tanky ship. You can get up close and personal with this ship, real, and you can spot with your face, which is for me critical because in 3 matches I've had this happen to me. Gotta love island destroyers. It happens. Not too bad, but just saying, hey, I had 3 of these, so my games probably aren't going to look as good as what you would guess in this ship. My first 3 matches, that's what my destroyers did, and they were very slow starts. And that's okay, but I found out really quickly because that I could spot with my face, and this sonar is very handy and almost an argument to be had. I could see why people would take fully packed. I personally wouldn't. I am taking the airstrike one. Defensive AA. This is solid on this ship. While I have not had a carrier match, I still have shot down a significant amount of planes in this. I think I have a game with like 10 planes shot down in it without a carrier match between the hybrids and the other Dutch cruisers. The AA is fine on it, and this goes really well if you're starting to get focused. Repair party, very solid for a cruiser. I'm not saying it's awesome, but it's solid. All right. Survivability, 51,000 or 52,000 hit points, pretty decent. Aircraft, this is actually something pretty cool. I'm starting to get a little bit used to these again because I haven't played D7 in a long time. Even though I like it, I've just been busy with other ships. Um, you have 12 planes that drop 6 bombs. And if given the opportunity, you get 72 bombs, and they can hurt, but it's a pretty wide range. It's not as small as D7's range, but they will hurt. And I can assure you, like, when I get better at these things, this ship is going to be absolutely gnarly for me because of this. Guns. This is the one thing I think is going to get underrated on this ship. These are 11-inch guns. So it is a super cruiser, quote unquote, and it definitely plays like it. I can assure you that. Now, I wouldn't say this with the guns is a DPM monster, but when you pair it with the aircraft in the right position, this thing is absolutely a DPM monster. When you guys see what I do in just a short amount of time, while I spot for myself, you guys are going to be probably impressed by this. Now, the guns don't look that great, but they have solid fire chance. The AP, do not underestimate this thing. All right. The AP is actually much better than I thought it was going to be. Um, Now, are you going to be able to Citadel battleships? No. Did I try? Yes. I mean, you could probably at really close range, but this is not something you want to be aiming at Citadels at 10 plus kilometers, okay? Trust me, you'll see in the match. I tried to take a shot that was really dumb. But anyway, AA defense. Oh, also with this, the fire chance pairs pretty well with the bomb payload or the airstrikes. So if you kind of time them with each other, it can be pretty good. AA defense is solid. That is one thing. Without even a carrier in the match, this thing is pretty stout with this maneuverability. Haven't really had to get. I've been playing bow in a lot, so I really got to use the flank. But everything here pretty average. And concealment, even on this build, is 10 kilometers. Now, if you go full concealment, you can get that down to 9. But I'm telling you, I don't think you need to. All right, that's just my personal opinion. I probably am going to play this a little bit different than other people. I'm pretty aggressive player, especially in super cruisers, which I love. But stats, okay. Uh, because of that clip, I've had some really slow starts on this thing. The guns are very accurate. And also, by the way, you can pin 47 millimeters of armor, so you're gonna get damage with the HE if you use it. I have actually used more AP, and I've really liked it, and then use HE when I needed fires. But you can see stats in this thing. Even while my destroyers, I've had them 3 matches where the destroyers just, I'm not even kidding you, they sat behind an island, and that happens, right? So even with that, I've had pretty solid games in this. And the one thing that I did not realize, guys, until like my second or third game when the destroyer wasn't spawning, I went out. I didn't know this thing had as good an armor scheme as it did. And I started spotting my for myself, and that changed this around because I had a couple games where not much happened, right? Like, I'm just waiting, biding my time. This is not a ship you have to do that in, all right? You can, this is a cruiser that you can take on an enemy team. So since then, right, even with the games where I wasn't the main target, I'm still averaging a million damage per game, right? And I've only died twice. And to be fair, them were, I believe, both from Torps, kind of getting rushed. I think one of them was a Kleber that rushed me. So my own deal there. But you can 100% tank everything in this ship. Like I'm not saying go stupid with it, but way more than you think. Dude, this ship is not for the faint of heart. Why is that? Because you have this really good, interesting armor scheme. Now, why is it so interesting? Because you have to understand how to use this armor scheme, in my opinion. But now, everybody's going to have a different take, I feel, on this. One thing to note, you have a 25 millimeter bow and stern, right? Except for you have this wonderful 40 millimeter armor extended belt. Why is that important, right? Well, as you can see here, you have a good belt on the side as well. Now you got to be careful at range, right? At range, stuff can come through your bow, through the front. But when you're up close and personal, you can tank almost anything in this ship. Like Yamis, you're fine. Like I have bounced so many Yami shells being up close and personal in this thing. You guys can see by my stats. People have been trying to kill me in this cruiser, and they're not doing a good job. Not even a little bit. In fact, most of the games I've had a significant chunk of my health back because you have them 3 heals, right? So one thing to worry about: American battleships at range going through that. Your bow there, the green area for that you guys don't know because it is 25 millimeters. So technically, all the battleships are gonna overmatch your bow, but because of that extended belt, you're gonna get away with when you're up close, not at range, but up close. You can bow tank anything. Also, if you don't want to, you don't need to. Why is that? Because you have this, and while people will pin the side of it a little bit, this thing is definitely tanky. This thing has got a strong belt on it. The one thing you do not want to do is try to kite away with this stinking bow. You don't have the extended belt back here. You should be bow in. Use that extended belt. It's one thing that once I found out in this ship, I've had just a freaking blast. Also, this thing, if you're broadside, you can get hit. I haven't really had a problem with it. But it does have a turtleback. Well, what I call a half turtleback. All right. So that up close, even when I have been dumb broadside, when I'm up close, I haven't paid the consequences I probably should have, and it's probably because of that turtleback. I'm not saying go broadside. I'm just saying this thing is tougher than you think it is. As we start the match, it's disclaimer time. This is a beginner's video meant to help people new to the ship or new to the game. This is not meant for professional gamers that know everything there is to know about everything in the universe. There are multiple ways to play and build this ship, and I am an above average player, not the world's best. I make mistakes. You may see one in this match. You didn't come here for pronunciations. I'm as good as anybody at slaughtering beautiful languages all the time. With that being said, we're on trap, and we are going to spot with our face in this match, like the rest of them. And like I said, I know it sounds crazy. You guys seen, though, I've only died twice, and I'm averaging 1.1 or 1 million damage against me. So basically, I'm tanking damage like a battleship. I'm getting up close and personal, and I'm spotting for myself. Now, you guys are going to see what a DPM monster this can be in the game, right? This is not going to be a long game. In fact, I think it's only 5 minutes of a match. Like, I think once we start shooting, it's only 5 minutes. And you're going to see what a DPM monster this can be. Now, am I saying you're going to hit 300,000 damage in every game? No, it's situational. You kind of need people rushing you. Kind of. You can be pretty aggressive in this ship, but you got to be careful. Like right here, I'm not charging in like a moron. I'm being a little bit careful. Then I notice, oh, I am not getting spotted. This might be the side without the destroyer. I am now not afraid of stuff. I mean, I have a sonar too, so I won't be too afraid. But you're going to see me slowly move in. I just want to make sure, you want to be aggressive, but you don't want to make dumb decisions, right? So we see Wooster spotted. We're going to use the airstrikes, and these things are great. Now, this first airstrike not going to be great. And you're going to see my second airstrike I actually use on Musashi. Now, why would I do that? Because in case I get a fire on Wooster, there's no absolutely reason to hit somebody on a damage cooldown, right? We're going to get really unlucky with our first salvo. That happens. Sometimes these guns troll you a little bit, but they've been pretty good for me. Second set out the gate with AP. As you can see, some torps come our way. We get 4 overpins in the Citadel. Not bad on a Wooster, right? So I will take that, and Shefflin actually goes ahead and finishes them off. We are actually going to start to move in now, though. We're being careful. We see the Kleber over there. I would like to take a shot at him, but he's already dead. So we see Palmer in the middle and Musashi. I'm not scared of Musashi. This is one of the weird ships that I have absolutely not been scared of Musashi in at all. Like, not even a little bit. Right? So we're going to try to get ourselves where we're behind this island. So if we have to, we don't want to put ourselves in a crossfire, and we can use that island to stop Musashi from firing at us if we need to. Now here you're going to see we're going to shoot AP, then switch over to HE because Pommern is actually going to be bow tanking us. So these airstrikes, I cannot stress enough, are also good against destroyers. But you're going to see we're going to get a pretty solid hit here. And this is what I like about this ship. I can be aggressive and make people move, right? We're going to drop on this guy. We get, what was that, a decent salvo there. We get 11 on the drop itself, a couple fires, and now we're off to the races. And I'm keeping an eye on Musashi, but it's a Musashi. He's probably not going to be too aggressive. And again, we're going to focus down Pommern. All right. He's already got fires on it. Now, I didn't realize he had the back ones right away, and you can see I switch over to my AP. He's got a bunch of fires on him. This AP is really good. Just go ahead and use the AP. Like, you don't have to. I think some people are going to stray away from this AP because people are going to think these are only Scharnhorst guns, which, even if they aren't, the AP is good on this. Better than I thought it was going to be, actually. Quite a bit. You can see I'm kind of lining them up to see, if he was slowing down. I do kind of use these like the torp things. You'll see me do it a few times and then kind of figure out where I need to go. Now, I am staying a little bit angled to him because I kind of want to get my back guns involved as well, but he's looking at me, so I'm trying to be a little bit careful. And you can see he's starting to turn his guns. We're going to take a good shot. And even after he's been hit a bunch and he's saturated, we get a solid chunk on him, right? And that's the one thing about this ship is, like, you get a broadside, this AP is good. And I actually almost prefer the AP. I will say the HE definitely helps get rid of, it kind of pairs with your airstrikes really well. And you can see here, we're going to go ahead and move up now, be aggressive, try to get this cap. I want this cap now. But you can see very quickly, in just 3 minutes there, we're doing pretty solid on our damage, right? And we've significantly changed the match. We got a Pommern, a secondary ship out of the middle of the map. And you're going to see here, we're going to kind of work on focusing on a Musashi. And you're going to see me take some really dumb shots because I thought he might be broadside enough that I might be able to get some damage on him. I shatter on the belt, but I'm thinking, okay, I'm a little bit, I'm moving in a little bit. We'll try up a little bit. And then I decide, after you can see we shatter some more, it's like, it's not worth it. Now, I could actually shoot into the side plating or superstructure if I wanted to. But here I'm trying to get another fire on him. You can see he had damage con there for a second. I was trying to get him back on fire. These guns have a fairly good fire chance. He goes down. We have the cape, but all of a sudden we look up and the whole team is gone. Like the whole enemy team. I've had a lot of these matches where slow starts, and by the time the match even goes, like, it's over. Now, I want you guys to pay attention to this airdrop on a cruiser, right? This is going to be a pretty significant airdrop. He thinks he's hidden in his smoke. He doesn't see my planes coming. 3 fires and 15,000 damage. Obviously, you guys can see the potential in this ship. I think if used properly, and I love it a lot. It fits my playstyle quite a bit. You guys, you can see we helped our team win the match. You guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you folks next time. Have a good one.